Today is Wednesday, December 13. I'm Pastor Anthony, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Today our text comes from Luke 1. Mary was greatly troubled at his words, and wondered what kind of greeting this might be. But the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary. You have found favor with God. You will conceive and give birth to a son, and you are to call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over Jacob's descendants forever. His kingdom will never end." That's Luke 1, verses 29 to 33. We hear that Mary was troubled. Not at the angel's appearance, mind you, but at his words. What a strange thing. The words Mary is responding to were part of our text yesterday. Those words from the angel, "Greetings, you who are highly favored, the Lord is with you." These are the words that made Mary greatly troubled. But Mary's reaction is strange. Not just because these were actually quite nice words, but also because usually people are frightened by the sight of the angel, not the content of the angel's speech. Most folks cannot hear what the angel has to say until after they are reassured about the angel's frightening appearance. But not with Mary. There is an odd receptivity in her from the start. Her eyes are open and ready, and so are her ears. She is ready to hear and to attend to the voice of God. But she is not well prepared to be so unquestioningly received by God. This is what greatly troubles her, that she is favored and that God is with her. That's what gives her pause and sends her mind reeling. I think many of us can relate. We are content to think of ourselves as not more than lowly servants, certainly no one to be paid attention to. Some of us consider ourselves to be lowly, sinful worms, unworthy of God's attention. Still others of us consider ourselves to be a bit on the outside, rebels with a few questionable habits, activities, and places we hang out. Folks who like to have fun and not take life too seriously. Certainly not one of the pious inner circle sorts. What a shocking surprise, then, when an angel shows up at some random time in the middle of the week to say, "Greetings, you who are highly favored, the Lord is with you." Can you imagine? What if he just popped in on you at work, or at school, or in the living room watching a movie, or at the pub playing or listening to some live music? And yet those are exactly the sorts of words that God does speak to us at just the oddest of times. Through the work of Mary's newly announced son, Jesus, we have now all become daughters and sons of God. So the Lord is with us. He does favor us highly, even loves us unconditionally. Black sheep and white sheep, the shame-filled and the drifters, all of us he loves, just the same. Mary would have to be told a second time for it to sink in, though. And if attentive Mary needed to hear it twice, then I'm sure that you and I do too. Maybe 3 times even. Do not be afraid. You have found favor with God. I don't know if you noticed, but all the saving promises of Jesus have already begun slowly seeping into the story. The Lord is with you, the angel says. Why, in these words, Mary has already received the promise of Emmanuel, God with us. And finding favor with God, in these words, Mary has already received the promise of chosenness, soon to be realized for all of us in Jesus' work. Slowly, the good news of the gospel has begun seeping into the story, not just in future promises, but also in Mary's lived reality. I hope this good news also interrupts you today and begins seeping into your story in just that same way, in the midst of whatever it is that you're doing today, as you hear and know that these words are also for you. You who are highly favored, the Lord is with you. Though you walk in darkness, may you see the great light. Though you live in a land of deep shadows, may you see light, sunbursts of light. May God increase your life, expand your joy. May you be glad in His presence. May God give you the joy of a great celebration, sharing rich gifts and warm greetings. May this be the blessing that meets you today.